What is up, everybody? I'm No Luck's Given, and happy New Year's Eve. I had a little bit of a silly idea for this video, and if you want to participate along with me, start this video, go roll back, and press play at 10 minutes before the ball drops, or 10 minutes before midnight, or just keep watching and do it however you want. Whatever works for your schedule. If you got other things that you're up to, I figured most people probably wouldn't participate, but it would still be a fun idea to do. So if you haven't done so already, you can still go back if you're not doing anything tonight and just start this video at 11:50, because I'll have to do a little bit of editing to make sure that everything lines up exactly as I want it. That means there's going to be a little bit more jump cuts in this one than you'll normally see in some of my videos, but hopefully that's not too jarring and it'll allow me to line up everything just how I want it. I'm going to pick up Cindy and Shadow Assassin in this shop, and then I'm going to line up everything just how I want it. I'm going to frontline that Shadow Assassin and move some things around here so that we're supporting the things that we want to. And it is going to be a crystal ball game. I thought that was some nice synergy there with the ball dropping tonight, dropping the ball or whatever, picking up a crystal ball, doing Horde Dragon. One of the things that I think is really cool on Horde Dragon is you're able to find crystal ball easier on this hero. I brought this up during Wonder Waddle Week, I was calling it, but Horde Dragon can pick up a crystal ball just a little bit cheaper than most heroes. But that's basically the whole thesis and why I always find myself playing mages on Horde Dragon. You can find crystal ball a little bit cheaper and thus a little bit easier. We could potentially even find it just off of our Cinderella treasure, which is pretty fantastic. Also fantastic, cracking a Humpty Dumpty. That's very nice. And then we're going to be able to cast some spells this turn. We've got a Potion of Heroism in this shop. I'm going to buy the Brave Princess, potentially thinking about putting it in because it only cost us 1 gold. And then I'll cast the Potion of Heroism on my ranged character. Then after a roll, I find another Shadow Assassin. So I do want to try to put this in as well. And I'm basically going to wind up finding myself playing a very similar board to the one that I was just playing last turn. I'm going to put in some more of these evil characters, potentially find some room again for the Lucky on the back of it, and then I've got to sell 3 things to play this Potion of Heroism as well. And now we're only 1 treasure or 1 spell away from getting that treasure on Cinderella. So we'll be able to grab that pretty soon. And we also have 2 different pairs right now with the Shadow Assassins and the Wicked Witches. So we're doing pretty nice as far as Horde Dragon things go. And one of the other things that I always find really fun on Horde Dragon is not only can you find the crystal ball a little bit easier, here we're not quite going to find crystal ball first, we're actually going to find the Moonsong Horn, and I take that because, like I said, I do like playing mages while I'm playing Horde Dragon. But the cool thing from there is you can take it a little bit further and you can add some of those really powerful tier 7 treasures into the mix and potentially drop the ball later on in the game as a little bit of foreshadowing for some of the fun stuff we might be able to get up to. I'm also going to pick up a Sporko here, and then probably we'll just wind up rolling to finish off the turn. I can't cast any more spells, but I guess I will just roll once or twice. Yeah, let's just roll, and then we can pick up another pair even in the form of this Labyrinth Minotaur. I'm not sure if that's better to play this turn than the Lucky. I think that we're pretty strong right now, so we probably could have just gotten away with trying to greed and play the Lucky for a little bit more economy. Yeah, you can see that we are kicking this Cursed King's butt, but either way, feeling pretty good. And now one other thing that we get to do as we cast spells is actually potentially stop doing the crystal ball stuff. What is cool here is that the crystal ball kind of helps you, it's like a free roll for spells specifically. And then we wind up even finding some more XP. Now we are wishing upon a star against an undefeated Loki, so that might be a little bit to ask, but I don't know. We've got 2 ranged characters, even a 3rd one with our Sporko in the back line. And then we've got a pretty decent Queen of Hearts. it's going to come close, but ultimately we do wind up losing the combat. But here's where we get to go crazy with it. We pick up Shadow Assassin, and there's really only one thing I'm looking for there, and it's Forking Rod, and boy, am I looking for it. That lets me double cast the End because it costs one less. And now we're at 5.2. We're 3 XP up on the rest of the lobby. Just absolutely insane stuff here overall. And I'm going to finish off the turn with a Lightning Bolt. And then I guess I will roll down a little bit more. And then I'm going to wind up rearranging this board a little bit, frontlining my Sporko. Kind of weird one, but that allows me to backline both of the Queen of Hearts, which I think might have been a little bit more powerful. Who knows? We're Hat Ball Fork and 3 XP up. And yeah, I forgot that's a double casted Lightning Bolt there as well. So yeah, we're feeling pretty powerful, pretty good here regardless. And we're going to grab an easy win up against Beauty. Now we're on 6.0, we'll see what stuff we can get into. We could have double cast the For Glory. I don't think that would have been horrible. Still kind of looking for an Aeon because we can potentially make these spells a little bit cheaper even, and that'll give us some nice avenues here. And we do find the Aeon, so I'm going to lock onto that and then cast a few more spells. And I think I should, I don't know if I do, but I should unlock and relock this shop to lock in that True Love's Kiss. We've got the Ball Horn Fork. They've got Ball Horn, just no Fork just yet, but they do have a really large Spellweaver, and it looks like that's going to be enough to allow them to win this combat. So we will take a little bit of damage down to 22, but you know what? I can take it. I think that we are doing pretty good. I'm going to wind up casting that True Love's Kiss onto the Wicked Witch, just grab an upgraded level 5 character. I'll make that an upgraded level 6 character with a Mix-a-Wizzle, and then we're going to start trying to slay with this Aeon. But I do also definitely want to pick up Scions of the Storm. That's how we'll find that tier 7 treasure or something like that later on, and that is obviously extremely powerful. And we can toss the Horn. We're not going to toss the Ball immediately just yet, but we can definitely toss Horn once we start slaying with Aeons. It's a little tricky. We want like 1 slay with Aeon plus Horn equals Hat, so we'll definitely want to find a Baba Yaga to add to this board as well, or an upgrade for Aeon. But once we do, that'll be pretty dang powerful and allow us to potentially add some more power to the board, tripling up on some Scions of the Storm. We can see that this Potion Master also on level 6. We do get the slay with Aeon though, so we are feeling pretty good, and we're going to take that Potion Master out right there. They're probably feeling pretty bad about that one. Big Book of Spells plus a Merlin's Hat and a few XP up themselves, but we were just way too strong. And yeah, we're gonna feed the Kraken a little bit. I love that new art, and grab some bonus econ. We're at 12 gold right now. You just grab so much gold from Feed the Kraken when you've got the Forking Rod activated. We do find Spellweaver for another mage to add to the board, and then I'm also going to put Hercules on the board. That's a pretty good one. Could also potentially let us find some powerful tier 7 treasures: World Tree, Black Prism, Holy Grail. There's some really good ones. And we're going to get Hercules up and running in basically just one combat here. We've already gotten it to 66, or one shop rather, 66 attack. And while I'd love to pick up the Holy Grail, I think while you're maging, just go for Black Prism. Now, maybe that's wrong. We're Horde Dragon, and Horde Dragon could then just pick up the Holy Grail and then find the Black Prism. So maybe that would also be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll have another shot at a tier 7 treasure with that Hercules down the line. Unfortunately, we do take a little bit of damage here, so a little bit awkward. But now we're just going to get back to casting some more spells. We need to add one more thing to this board as well. And yeah, now we get to go absolutely crazy. We'll pick up a Spellweaver. This Scion of the Storm is quite large here now as well, and this Hercules should be activating this turn as long as it gets to deal some damage in the combat. I'm going to pick up these Hermes Beans. Still never quite found the hat or the upgrade for Aeon, but we're definitely cooking with gas, playing with a bunch of mages. You also could flip the Shadow Assassin and the Hercules, or at least move the Shadow Assassin up so that it's attacking earlier as a ranged character. I generally just like to put my Hercules earlier, so that way we're guaranteed getting that treasure. We're much stronger than Peter Pan's here with 3 strong backline ranged units, and really we don't even need the treasure. Mirror Mirror's kind of cute with Scion of the Storm, but I like the treasures that I have. Enough wasting time, let's get back to casting spells, and Happy New Year! That was the big moment. That was when I dropped the ball. I'm not dropping Crystal Ball, but rather I dropped the ball in this game by making a mistake that I never have before. And in that way, it's kind of fun being able to do something totally new in Storybook Brawl after over a year of playing. I finally cast Feed the Kraken while I had a black prism and turned my entire board into gold. So now we've got to try to rebuild this board. This is a great use for that Dizzy emote there. Yeah, I don't know. Feed the Kraken was so good for us earlier on in the game. By the way, I was thinking about using Feed the Kraken as the thumbnail for this video, but I thought that might spoil it a little bit too much. It is really cool new artwork. And yeah, just didn't think about it. We'll blame the new UI, we'll blame the new artwork for Feed the Kraken looking so dang sweet. Now, what's crazy is we are actually still able to win this combat against the lobby leader, nonetheless. But we still took a huge hit in power, and we have to figure out how to rebuild from here. And what I possibly should have done, I think what we really potentially need to do there is just roll for Aeon plus Baba Yaga. Though there is another potential avenue. We could just look for Croc spells and then get some tier 7 treasures out of that and potentially find Holy Grail or something and rebuild from there. But yeah, just wind up casting a bunch of spells here and kind of floundering in my mistake. Now, I am trying to make the best of a bad situation, picking up some characters that really scale with some additional stats. 2 ranged characters, 1 in the Court Wizard that's getting those bonus attacks, and then the Mummy, which also really appreciates the bonus attack stats. Though here, a Rotten Apple from my opponent shrinks my Scion of the Storm, and that is a pretty huge scam because that's like all of our stats right now, and without that, we are going to crumble. So we take 11 down to 11, and here's where, I mean, you got to start feeling a little bit scared for your life. 99.54% to lose there. And a lot of these spells like Shard of the Ice Queen, I really don't want to cast because I don't want, we could feed them to a Kraken again, I suppose. But I don't want to lose my Scion of the Storm because that's like my whole deal right now. So a little bit awkward on that front, but here's what we're going to wind up working with. Just Jormungand because it's a large amount of stats. Definitely tempted by those Feed the Krakens, but ultimately going to decide not to, and then just pick up a Spellweaver to end things off. Maybe we could lock on to a Mix-a-Wizzle. It's not the craziest idea. Try to grab some more stats on the board, but like we really need Scion of the Storm. Maybe we can still beat this Peter Pants, though they were pretty strong last time we faced them, and we are now much, much weaker. They found a Scion of the Storm. Not too much else. Their pumpkin isn't going to summon anything, but it doesn't matter because the pumpkin doesn't even die. So there you go. Hopefully that was fun. Syncing that up to not quite... I synced up the ball drop to when I dropped the ball. So hopefully all of that works. I'm not sure if I'm going to put down like a countdown timer in the post. I don't know if I will, because you'll know when it's New Year's or not. But yeah, just a silly one. I don't really have much else for you. Happy New Year, I suppose. And thank you guys for watching whenever you watched. If you watched this right when the ball dropped, or if you just watched it whenever. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.